And good evening, Filipino freelancers, and welcome to another episode of Flip Chat and Chill. Nakalimutan ko na yung minemorize ko last week na intro ko, kaya balik tayo sa dati. Welcome to another episode of Flip Chat and Chill, where we gather people to talk about the ins, the outs, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the beautiful of freelancing. And tonight, I am accompanied by our intern, Enzo. Enzo, say hi to everybody, please.
Hello everyone. Good evening.
All right. So Enzo is here with us tonight. Let's support Enzo para naman hindi siya kabahan, pero I think very confident. Nagbumukhang confident si Enzo ngayon eh. So how about you let us know what is our topic for today?
All right. So our topic for tonight's Flip Chat and Chill will be tools and apps online freelancers can't live without.
All right, there you go. Tools and apps online freelancers can't live without. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you ask these from time to time. Para ano bang tools ang ginagamit ng niche na ganito, niche na ganyan? So how about we just recommend you what we know and the things that we actually are using. Kasi marami yung mga nag-enumerate naman kung ano-anong mga apps, but sometimes we just have to move past it. And pag minsan, sayang lang yung oras mo na pinag-aaralan mo yung app na yan when there is something better. But also keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that we keep evolving. So apps come and go. Apps come and go. Sometimes in a matter of seconds, biglang may bago and your client might say, you need to do this app, you need to function with this app. So what we can recommend, ladies and gentlemen, are some standards na hindi kayo mangangapa. Para hindi kayo mangangapa sa kahit anong apps man ang ibigay sa inyo, okay pa rin sa inyo because it looks familiar. But before we go to that, task number 1, Enzo, how about you greet our viewers for tonight?
All right, just a quick shout out to everyone. So Miss Carmi from Tanza Cavite, hi ma'am. So we have Cheryl from Lipa City, Joyans from Parañaque, Cel Soledad from Santa Rosa, Laguna, hi. So we have Emma from Parañaque. So good evening everyone. Hi Amy Bachi from Content Creation Internship. So we have Rose and Rodrigo. Good evening to you. Jessica Ilustrissimo from Mandaluyong. And we also have Lenny Babao from Marikina. And yes, that's it. Miss Clarita. Hi, Mendoza. And we also have Jenny Garcia from QC. So shout out to everyone. Thank you for watching.
There you go. Good job, Enzo. Ayan, ladies and gentlemen, wag na kayong umangal kasi shinout out kayo ng ating napakagwapong intern ngayon for tonight. So, ayan. And kung gusto niyo magpahabol, sige lang, karinyuhin niyo si Enzo at bahala siyang mag-shout out sa inyo. But with that, thank you very much, Enzo. I hope that you get to enjoy our session for tonight. Punta tayo dito sa panel naman. Let me go straight to Elijah. Elijah, who are you and why should I be interested?
Hello, good evening. I'm Elijah James Perez. I am a student here at VA Bootcamp and I'm unemployed and happy. And starting freelancing finally. Yeah.
Good job. Good. I am so glad. Ladies and gentlemen, kayo mga medyo maaga-agang sumali dito, baka may narinig kayong kwento ni Elijah in our exchange a while ago because Elijah was trying to remind me who he was. Who he is. Well, who he was. Na dapat maalala ko siya. Which is true because he has a very significant story in his background, which I think should be saved for the future just in case na sasali siya sa Just Success. But for now, he is currently our student. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, nagpapatawag din ako ng mga students, nagpapatawag din ako ng mga inexperienced dito sa Flip Chat and Chill. Why? It's because it doesn't matter kung may experience ka o wala ka. In a way, if you speak from your heart, nakaka-touch pa rin ng mga sinasabi mo. And also, I want people to be able to relate to our panel. Kasi kung puros mga freelancing superstars ang mga nandito, just like Joey here, parang ang hirap ng abutin, right? Ang hirap ng abutin. I also want you, ladies and gentlemen, to to find somebody whom you can relate to. So if you happen to be starting up as a freelancer, just look up at Elijah. Maganda rin ang kwento niya. And if you want to be like accountability partner with him, if you want to team up with him, if you want to makisabay sa progreso niya, then I strongly recommend that you do so. You go ahead and contact him. For now, let's see what happens tonight kung ano naman ang pwede nating pag-usapan. Let's go to Joey. Joey, hi. Who are you and why should I be interested? Binalik ko yung tanong ko na yun, ano?
Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. So it's nice to be back here on FCC. I'm Joey. I'm a freelance writer. I started as a freelance writer, but now we have an agency. We're slowly growing. I'm still a writer, but now I'm a tech journalist and a tech writer and tech journalist. And I also write about aviation. So before I started freelancing, my track was to become a commercial pilot. But now it's more like I want to be like an aviation magazine writer, editor, and owner. Something like that. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But freelancing that's where I found my my calling, if you say it like that.
As people say, the world is your oyster. Kaya, thankfully, freelancing is a representation of freedom, ladies and gentlemen. With freelancing, you will be able to do a lot of stuff like what Joey is doing. Kasi si Joey, akalain nyo, kinontrata niya halos lahat ng mga internships. He is able to do that. Pag minsan, pag nagtatrabaho ka ng mga 10 hours a day, you will sometimes ask, how the hell is he doing that? How the hell can he do that? Yung may pamilya, may anak na nga, tapos nakaka-intern pa, nag-aral pa. What the heck? How were they able to do that? And maraming mga sumasagot, time management. But foundation is, ladies and gentlemen, you have absolute control with your time if you go through freelancing. Yan ang kagandahan sa freelancing, the freedom that it gives to you. So congratulations, Joey, and looking forward to more of what you can do with the community. Sheena, it's your turn. Who are you and why should I be interested?
Hi, my name is Sheena and I'm here from San Antonio, Texas. And I guess I am coming from more of a client's perspective, I'm venturing into real estate investment here in the US. And I guess for a while, I have been working with a lot of VAs, and that got me really, really interested and got me more interested with y'all's materials in Flip, right? And VA Bootcamp, yung mga courses. So I really love the materials, even with just, yung mga free stuff, very quality content, talagang pinag-iisipan. So it's really, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, even a fan of you. So.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I do have a full-time job, but I help a lot of Filipino women because, of course, I'm coming from a client's perspective. I've been here in the US for 12 years. So, katulad ninyo, so I grind as well, right? So, and I don't know. And you guys are talking about giving up, your full-time job, and it's either you sink or you swim. And that's a time when you really get to parang wala ka ng choice, diba? So you really have to swim. And I think at this moment, parang hindi pa more of a business part. I want to have an agency as well. Joey was talking about that, and that's very, very impressive. And I want to venture into that, but just right now I'm in that transition, and my mind is transitioning because I'm taking care of course, freelancers, and at the same time of my own career and as a businesswoman. So I'm coming from that perspective.
I got to warn you, Sheena, because coming from the lifestyle of America, mahirap mag-transition. Mahirap mag-transition because I know all you do is work, 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 and you work hard to play hard. That's usually the lifestyle in America, and it's quite a huge adjustment because freelancing encourages you to be a bit more relaxed as possible. But still, I encourage you to keep on going through your journey, whatever choices you want to make, whether you want to be a student or you want to be the client. Regardless of that, you will be able to help a lot of people, and I am already grateful for that. Go ahead and venture out and study whatever we can offer here in VA Bootcamp and apply it on your career and see if there are things that you actually pick that may shake up the mindset of the typical Filipino. Marami mga Pilipinong pumupunta dyan, and most of the times there's a huge culture shock, right? Because of the lifestyle, and working there is quite different. And I am hoping that with you and venturing into freelance and becoming a client, being a client, will reshape the minds of the many who also are there. There's a lot of Filipinos still need your help, even if they are there in America. But so yeah, good luck. Whatever you want to do, I would be very, very curious. I'd be looking forward to seeing how you progress in freelancing. Good. This is good. Salamat Carmi at very wide ang dinala mo dito sa ang inipon mong mga kasama ko dito sa panel. So we got Elijah, who is now currently unemployed. And you know what, Elijah, be proud of that. Be proud of that. You're currently unemployed, so you're starting from zero, which means that the possibilities are endless. Yan ang kagandahan yan eh. Starting from zero, parang some people think, it's zero, I have to climb up. But you know, the good thing about it is you get to decide where you are going to, what your path is, where you want to go. So yeah, that's the magic of it. Congratulations for that. We also have Joey, who has been here for a long time and who has been practicing his freelance for many niches of his freelancing journey. Kaya well experienced itong si Joey. And we also have Sheena, who speaks from a client's perspective. Sheena, mag-ipon ka nga ng pwede mong isermon sa mga since speaking from a client's perspective, mag-ipon ka nga ng pwede mong isermon sa mga mag-a-apply kung sakaling, let's pretend that there are a bunch of Filipinos who will apply for you, for your job, and parang mag-isip ka ng the things that they do that actually irritates a client. Can you do that later?
Let's say I'm one
Sheena?
of them.
Yes, si Elijah. Yes, Elijah. A little later on, I'll be asking you what you have absorbed for tonight. Okay, so diretso na tayo sa topic yan because we have already spent a lot of time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know some tools and apps that have been helping you within or outside freelancing, share it with us. Kasi ito ang isang hinahanap ng marami. But let me go first and foremost to Joey. Joey, General VA muna tayo. So General VA muna tayo kasi mahirap kapag talakayan natin ang mga niches because there are so many of them. But as a General VA, what tools or apps are supposed to be in our arsenal as a foundation of a newbie freelancer?
Okay. Are we talking about hardware, software, or both?
Any. Yeah.
All right. Well, number one, of course, hardware. We got hardware and services. You gotta have dapat meron kang laptop or a computer. It doesn't have to be the latest and the greatest, no? Something usable. You can buy secondhand, 8 to 10K. Okay na siguro yon. But you just have to be careful about specifications. Pero that's another story altogether, no? But basta, you gotta have a computer. You gotta have matinong internet, and maybe cellphone para madali kang makaka-reach ng pag nag-email or message sa yung client. So, hardware side. Software side, Grammarly. It's a free grammar service. Yeah. Because whether writer ka, VA ka, whatever, when you send your cover letter, I mean, it doesn't have to be like prose and poetry, no? But at the very least, dapat walang or uh, try to limit yung uh, grammatical errors, especially yung mga glaring errors na sobrang laki, no? So Grammarly will save your life as it has saved mine and is continuously saving mine every day. Ano
Mhm.
pa ba? Ako, if especially if you're gonna do freelancing, if you're gonna do it as a full-time gig, like let's say, Elijah, if you're gonna go uh find a client, no? Even if you're not being paid yet, even if wala ka pang client, when I started out, I treated freelancing as a full-time gig. Ano ibig sabihin nun? I clock in at 8 p.m. because I'm a night owl. I stop working at 8 a.m. During that time, meron akong timer. So either you can use Pomodoro style, yung mga 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break if you're into that. But the point is, I have a timer para I know how many hours I work. Hindi yung tipong talagang yung tipong nagwo-work ka, parang hanap ka ng client sa Upwork and then parang wala na ako sa mood, mag-Facebook ka. Maya-maya, 4 na oras
Mm.
na Facebook. That's a
Mm.
no-no. You should, if this is gonna be your full-time gig, consider it as your work. Unless, di ba, unless ganun ka mag-work, 4 hours work, 4 hours social media, 4 hours work ulit, that's fine. But the point is, do it full-time, do it with, ang tawag doon, how do you call that? You do it with purpose, no? Do it purposefully. Hindi yung tipong, ay,
Commitment.
naisip
Yes.
ko lang mag-apply ngayon, no? So, it's not like that. So, Grammarly, a timer to help you do it purposefully. Of course, kung afford mo, maganda kung meron kang Microsoft Office Suite na original, because you get free 1 terabyte online storage with the paid plan ni Microsoft Office. So if you can afford that,
Mm.
that's also great. Pero if not, ang sinasabi ko nga, if you're not yet earning, don't spend just yet, no? Huwag ka mag-premium, maglibre ka, what? Google Sheets,
Mm.
Google Word, sorry na, Google Docs, Google Slides, yung Google Drive, Gmail, they're all free. Use that. Yeah, Grammarly is also free. Yung mga timer apps, marami. Personally, I use Clockify. Meron pang ibang magaganda dyan out there. They're all free. You can use that. And yeah, online jobs, Upwork din. Of course, basic yun, tools for freelancing. But yeah, I think that's about it. That's what the basic of the basic when you're starting out as a freelancer.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Alalahanin niyo yung laptop na yan, ha? Pag-ipunan ninyo ng... Kasi you can definitely work with just your phone. But how efficient will you be? That is my question. If you work like Jason, who used to be a digital nomad, dahil bawal naman na ngayon ang pagiging nomad, right? Dahil sa lockdown natin. But if you happen to function better using the cell phone, then go ahead, use that. As long as magawa mo yung mga pinapagawa ng client mo. But a good thing about using a laptop is pag binuksan mo yung laptop mo, automatic na yung utak mo pupunta sa work mode. Hindi yung cellphone kasi parang it's really you can do almost everything with the cellphone. Parang madali kang ma-distract pag hawak-hawak mo ang cellphone mo. But sure, of course, there's nothing wrong with just using your cellphone. Just be mindful about it. You should be aware of how efficient you can be using just your cell phone. So we are not forcing you, but we strongly recommend that you use a laptop. Christine Randada Berguera says, for me po, the use of ClickUp changed my life po. Not just for freelancing. Sa daily reminders din, my top 3 apps, Google Workspace, Canva, and ClickUp. A lot of people love Canva. I'm slowly loving Canva, but not so much. But yeah, yeah, these are good. These are good recommendations. Thank you very much, Christine, for that. Let me go to Elijah. Elijah, coming from work, do you have specific apps or software that you are currently using now, despite na wala ka na sa work mo?
I Pero sometimes lang. I sometimes use Copyscape. It's a good
Ooh.
tool, but sad thing is it's only good if you pay for it.
Mm.
So Copyscape is to check for
Plagiarism.
plagiarism, yeah, plagiarisms
Mm.
and such. Oh my ganyan. And yeah, I use Google Docs a lot kasi pwede mo ma-view anywhere, like on a phone, sa PC,
Mm-hmm.
on anywhere. Sa Samsung
Yes.
fridge. Pwede din.
That's good, 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 good. At least you have some basics with you. But I strongly recommend, Elijah, that
Mm.
you take a look at everything that Google has to
Mm.
offer, because majority of them are free, and na parang relatable din eh. If you can master Google Sheets, you will be able to use Excel kung
Mm.
kailangan yon, right? Using Google Docs, pwede
Google
you
Docs,
can,
Google
yeah, you can
Slides.
yes, you can do that. So you have to be familiar with that. Ladies and gentlemen, be familiarized with whatever Google apps have, right?
Mm.
Para ano, but kasi libre naman eh. But the one thing that I want you to start with, since you are already starting over, right, from zero nga, one thing that I strongly recommend that you buy is a pad of paper. A pad of paper and a pen. Ayokong, I cannot reach my pen. Pero a pen. Yeah, a pad of paper and a pen, because efficiency is the key when it comes to applying for jobs. Pag, ayan, very good. Ayan, meron kang notes dyan. Always keep that. Yes, very good. Always keep that on your table. And kung kaya, kung pwedeng pwede mong idikit-dikit sa sa monitor mo, you also need that, because during your interviews, for sure kakailangan mo mga notes. But yes, that's good. Very good, Elijah. You're starting up very brightly. Sheena, coming from a client's perspective, what apps or tools are expected out of freelancers by the time that they come near you and ask for a job?
That's funny because I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure that you know Simon
Yes,
Robinson. Yeah.
Robinson.
So yeah, I was Robinson. Yeah, I was just he was just talking to me because he's one of the coaches of two of my admins. Because
Mm-hmm.
I do have my group as well, but yeah, so he coached two of my admins sa SMM, and I was about to do that bago he beat me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, i-mention, isusurpresahin ko dapat siya, but ako ang nasurpresa niya. But anyway, so yeah, the one that he recommended for us is yung Trello.
Oh,
Mm.
I
Trello.
mean, yeah, I love Trello, especially yung mga integrations niya sa iba't ibang mga apps. I love yung integration niya sa Planningway, which is
Mm.
parang calendar siya, but not just the calendar, but because you can tag yung mga iba't ibang tao sa mo, 'di ba? Sa mga empleyado ganun, or kahit peers mo, ganun. At saka yung mga integration niya sa Slack.
Yes.
If you use it, you can integrate it as well with Discord. But the only thing is you have to use an an app in between, parang a third party, which is
Yes.
ano ba yung integration app na yun. I forgot. I might remember that. But yeah, for SMM, that one, we use that. You have to have at least knowledge with Discord, Slack. We're going towards Discord. But I'm looking at Teams. That's what I use at work. But Teams, Microsoft, kasi may free online, diba? Yung Microsoft Excel, Word, basic of those. Of course, being able to use, pang presentation as well.
Oh yeah.
So you have your Google, what's that?
Slides.
It's PowerPoint, Google Slides. There you
Oh
go.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just so many so many tools. I mean, they've mentioned about Google. I live off of that. My team, whenever I'm asking for them to, like the other day or last week, I had a task for them to scrape all parang Airbnb, so that I have the zip codes, and I have, you know zip codes and average amount ng mga Airbnb, so that when I get a property na ano siya na for Airbnb, then I know that area is good. So, those kinds of things. So talking about, real estate, then I had her go through Airbnb and go to Zillow dito. You can use that as well to check on the value of the properties. So they have to be knowledgeable if they are in real estate. Because I'm venturing, like there's, real estate, SMM, lead generation. I haven't really used Apollo, more of real estate side, which is, more of utilizing PropStream. I'm not sure if you guys are too familiar with real estate apps. PropStream. I'm looking into Propelio, but when I checked on, kind of skip tracing, baka mga iba na yung language yung sinasabi ko. Skip tracing is getting all the information of Americans, mga Amerikano dito, diba? Yung mga phone numbers and email address and all of that.
Yes.
I looked at Propelio, but mas mahal siya but for clients, so I wouldn't recommend. I mean, it depends kasi may mga kliyente dito na basta quality yung as far. And it's funny because I was talking to my VAs about that. I was going over different apps, so I showed them Propelio. But if you can, I told them to scrape a data of different names here in the US, a data of different names, so 20, right? So if you can compare PropStream and Propelio and FreedomSoft doesn't have free trial, but I always would encourage them to do free trials just for you to have that knowledge of all the tools for your clients.
Correct.
And put it in a spreadsheet. Ano yung mga package 1, package 2, package 3, ano yung mga prices, ano yung offer nila, so that when your client tells you, well, I'm into social media management, then you can talk about Sprout Social and your Hootsuite, ano yung mga difference nila, and you can give them recommendations. So having that edge, having that knowledge of all the different tools, because na experience mo na siya, right? So anytime that there's a free trial, I go in there and explore it right away. So I always do that.
Well, suffice it to say, you're the kind of client who grabs every information available that you can and play with it. Yeah, am I correct there? Yes. So you're that kind of client. Yung parang chapsoy. Chapsoy, ladies and gentlemen, si Sheena, yung parang pag meron siyang nakitang app na pwede niyang gamitin or a software na pwede niyang gamitin, she will dive into it and try to discover it. And you, as one of her assistants, should be able to do the same thing. And yun nga ang sabi ni Sheena, if you are knowledgeable of these apps or these websites, then it will be your edge kasi ikaw itong pwedeng mag-recommend. Now, this versus that and this versus that. That is a very, very good tip, Sheena. Thank you for that. Cel Soledad says Canva, Trello, Grammarly, Google Docs. Ayan. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may sinabi si Sheena kanina na baka iba na ang lingwahe niya. Baka iba na ang lingwahe niya sa mga lingwahe natin, which is true, ladies and gentlemen. There are times when some prospective client will be mentioning so many names, so many terminologies na hindi natin naiintindihan. Fear not. Fear not. What I recommend is for you to record or take down notes. Kung mabilis kang magsulat, take down notes and record them and just, admit to the client if you do not know what the heck they are saying, then it is fine. Just let them know. And they might be generous enough to explain things to you para magkaroon ka ng idea. Or if not, then it's okay. It's not if the client wants somebody who is already knowledgeable of some things that they want, then that is fine. So, and if you are not that person, then that is fine. It's okay. Move on na lang tayo. But at least you would be aware that there are particular clients who want you to be knowledgeable about these things. So that is a good experience, ladies and gentlemen. Elijah and Enzo as well. Pag once na mag-apply kayo, tapos katulad ni Sheena na marami siyang sinabing mga websites, maraming mga terminologies, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. In fact, if I were you, I would click record the screen, record the voice, record everything so that you will be able to get back to it and think, sandali, ano na nga ba yung sinabi ni Miss Sheena na yun? Sa ano na nga ba yun? And then if you have time to research, then research. Because knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. It is such a cliche to say that, but in freelancing, it is really power. Just like Sheena said, if you happen to know these kinds of apps, if you happen to know the language, then you will be able to recommend which is better, which is not. That is power, ladies and gentlemen. Dahil kung nagkataon na, for example, kayo, kung ang alam ninyo is Trello lang, paano kapag sasabihin ng client na I want to use Trello but I'm also looking into this and I'm also looking into that. Which one would you recommend? Pag sasabihin nila na ganon at ang alam mo lang ay Trello, how can you compare? How can you give a good comparison? Right? And when I say power is because si client na mismo mag-a-adjust para sa'yo. So if you happen to like Trello, then you can, of course, recommend Trello. So your job will be easier for you. That is power. Gusto nyo ng ganon, di ba? Gusto nyo yung kayo itong may control sa mga ginagawa ninyong mga tasks and your client will still pay you. Right? Isn't that magic? Isn't that magic? Imbes na yung, okay, client, bahala ka na sa akin. Ano bang ipapagawa mo sa akin? Kahit nahihirapan ako, sige lang. Importante may bayad ako. That is not the mindset that we encourage, ladies and gentlemen. The mindset that we encourage is for you to be able to work at ease, make things easier for you, finish your task quicker and in a happy note. Right? Yung matatapos mo yung trabaho mo na parang happy ka pa rin, ganado ka pa rin, so that you will still have energy for yourself, for your family, for internship, or yung mga ginagawa ni Joey, nagsusulat siya, may agency siya, kung yung sang katutak ng ginagawa nila. How the hell can you do that? You have to be able to make your workspace a happy place by, as much as possible, familiarizing yourself with the many tools and apps that the universe has to offer to you. Carmi says, depende sa work ang mga tools na need i-familiarize. But in general, kailangan marunong ka sa MS Office Suite, Google Workspace, telecom app like Skype, Slack, MS Teams, Zoom, Canva, Trello, Notion for project management, etc. In fact, yung mga binanggit ni Sheena kanina and etos nasabi ni Carmi, I actually hate them. I hate them. I hate doing them. I hate Trello. I hate MS Teams. I hate Notion. But I still do it. And it's just simply easy for me. See, ladies and gentlemen, hindi yung porket hate na hate mo ay ayaw mo nang galawin. Pag hate na hate mo, pag-aralan mo so that you will get to discover why you hate the thing. And then naturally, magiging master ka rin doon sa hate na hate mong app na yan or apps na yan. Huwag yung sabihin lang sa client nyo. Don't tell your client that you hate what they love using. Basta parang shrug it off na lang since you already know what it is. Perhaps you can recommend some other So perhaps you can recommend some other apps if you want to, because just like Sheena is still creating a pattern of apps and software that really works best for her. Pag ganyan ang mga klaseng client, ang sarap kasi pwede kang mag-recommend. Am I right, Sheena?
Yes.
right? That would you be happier if your client, if your freelancers would be recommending or maybe dissuading you to use certain apps and tools?
Yeah, I actually had a VA a while back. I mean, she's hands down the best VA I have ever worked with.
Mm.
Because I just tell her what I want, and she's there. She lays out every single thing, and she does recommend, of course, sa mga past clients niya, yung kung ano yung ginagamit nila. But it's just so different na pagising mo, naka-layout na sa'yo as freelancer.
Mm.
Ayun yung sinasabi ko sa mga VA ko. That's why I teach them, research as well. Kasi pagka sinabi ko na, okay, I want a brochure as to where it will lay out, yung onboarding ng clients. And then the next day, it's already there. Like, it's
Mm.
just, of course, Canva. Someone mentioned about Canva. Of course, that's
Mm-hmm.
everyone's best friend, even if it's
Mm.
not your best friend, right? But it's very helpful for each and every single one of us. But yeah, it feels really amazing for to know that your VA knows just so much, and you don't have to like train them. At saka kung ano
Mm.
sila, makakapag-navigate sila. Tsaka kasi marami naman, may mga video naman, sarili namang video yung mga ganun na ano, or go to YouTube and know about it in advance. Tapos pagising mo sabihin na, oh, alam ko na kung ano yung yung app na to. Parang being proactive is what I want as a client. Para hindi ko na, I won't take my time, a day out of my time to train someone.
This is true. This is true, ladies and gentlemen. Kaya wag kayo masyadong umasa sa training. Marami sa atin itong because that is how the corporate does it, Sheena, here in the Philippines. Yung they want you to be a blank slate and they will just teach you what you need to do. So yung training na yan, it is mandatory because no matter how good you are, even if you graduated at summa cum laude, they don't care. What matters is they will implement what they want you to do. So there is always training. The problem with that is maraming mga Pilipinong nasanay sa ganong klaseng process. Yung aasa na lang na, ay, di bali, kahit basta iti-train naman ako may training naman Pag minsan umaasa tayo sa ganon, and we get complacent. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, in freelancing, it is an edge if you happen to know a lot of things. Like what Sheena said, ang scenario na gusto niya, which this, ladies and gentlemen, is very typical with many clients ha. Maraming mga clients na gusto nila, they just want to tell you what they envision a project to be. And it is up to you to make it physical. Make that imagination physical to them. That is what they want. So sabi nga ni Sheena, I want a brochure that has this and this and this and this and that. By paying attention to those details, ladies and gentlemen, kaya mga virtual assistants, you should be able to get the concept and create it. How do you do that? By knowing the things that are needed to create that project. Kaya nga meron tayo mga basics The best thing, ladies and gentlemen, is for you to use Google. Now, since nasa tayo, medyo ang dami nating nasasabing mga tools and apps na kailangan, which is a little confusing sometimes, especially if you start focusing on a particular niche. Heto, nandito na tayo sa niche, ladies and gentlemen. Sa niche kasi, aside from the things that you should know as a virtual assistant, as a general virtual assistant, sa niche, marami mga ibang mga tools dyan na dapat mong pag-aralan pa that it is expected for you to know as a social media manager, as a image editor, as an SEO specialist, pag mga ganyan. There are particular tools and apps that you need to know. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, in each expert, meron silang sasabihin na iba, and yun nga, times change really, really fast. So instead of mentioning specific apps and tools, let me ask you, pati ikaw, Elijah, what is your process of learning a new tool or a
New
new
skill.
app or a new a new website, or just like if I said, if you happen not to know what Trello is, for example, and if I say I need you to learn Trello in the span of 3 days. If I ask you to do that, what is your process of learning? Elijah, I'm going to give you time. Punta muna ako kay Joey because Joey has already done this a billion times. Learning something new, learning something new, learning something new. So what is your process of learning para medyo mabilis-bilis ang proseso at ma-absorb agad-agad ng kokote, Joey?
Number one kong ginagawa is go to help. May help yan, may yung go to the website, may question mark or may forum sila and everything. And just tinan mo lang, usually meron yun, or go to the YouTube channel nung app na yon. Most of the time may YouTube channel sila that explains the basics of how to do it. That's one. Number two is, for example, kaka-migrate lang namin sa ClickUp last November from Trello. ClickUp, nung sinimulan ko siyang gamitin is, wow, it's eating me alive, you know? So,
Okay.
one of the things that we did was I discovered you really have to discover it yourself. Spend time and try to make ang tawag dyan, create sample tasks, sample projects, sample whatever, and move it around. Ngayon, if you don't want to mess around with what your client already has, usually there's a free version of that one, and you can make one your own for yourself, diba? And that's where you learn things. And
Yes.
also, ang tawag dyan, YouTube, you discover, read. Yun lang. It's basic.
Read.
Reading and comprehension. You have to read it and comprehend kung ano yan. Usually when you start out the first time, you create a new account, meron naman na kayo na, do this. Tapos may arrow dito, then may arrow dun, then click here, click there, ganun. So, that's actually how I did it with a lot of the apps that I'm using. First time to make an account, the app will give you the basics. Kasi, kung hindi naman user-friendly sila, nobody's gonna use them, di ba? Lalo na kung mahirap
Yes.
gamitin. So
Yes, that's
it's
true.
really in their best interests. Yeah, na to make it easy for you to learn. So, talagang, sa corporate kasi, spoon-fed lahat no? But in freelancing, we have to make our own system. We have to make, everything is sa atin, no? So, tayo talaga gagawa nun. So, you have to learn it yourself.
In the spirit of learning, ladies and gentlemen, guilty ako kasama na ako sa mga tao na nagmamarunong lagi. Laging nagmamarunong. So if I was presented like Canva, for example, galing akong Photoshop, Photoshopper ako. Wow, Photoshopper ako. And sabi nila, I only want you to use Canva. Tapos, kahit na hindi ko alam kung anong nangyayari sa Canva, ako tong nagmamarunong na, kaya ko yan, madali lang yan. Skip the instructions. Skip the instructions. Kasi, feeling ko naman, madali ko ma-pick up. Ayan, ladies and gentlemen, guilty ako dyan kasi I usually end up wasting my time na parang pinalagpas ko ang ilang araw dahil akala ko nga magaling ako. And then when I actually do it, ano na? Anong nangyari dyan? Anyari? Kailangan I still need to spend time watching YouTube or reading, yun nga sinabi ni Joey, whereas I should have done that before. So in the spirit of learning, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a chance of actually doing it physically, kahit basic pa lang, sa pinakasimula, do it. Do it kasi muscle memory din, nakakatulong din yan sa'yo na your body has already done something. So if you're going to repeat it, if you're going to do it again, it'll be easier for you. Your body will respond. Carmi says, then you can upgrade na kapag kabisado mo na ang basic tools. Gaya ng Canva, you can level up to Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator later on. Daming tools na ang ganda gamitin for free and user-friendly. In fact, I agree with this, but in fact, baka pa nga hindi mo na kakailanganin mag-upgrade. With the constant use of Canva and with the plethora of free stuff na binibigay naman nila which you can actually use, you might not even need to upgrade to premium or go to Photoshop or whatnot. Baka hindi mo na kailangan. Kasi nga, eto, ladies and gentlemen, pag mag-a-apply ka sa isang sa isang job, sana nandito si Sheena. Sheena, I hope you're still there. Pag nag-a-apply ka sa isang job opening at nakita mo na kailangan ng Photoshop, hindi pwedeng Canva lang. Pag sinabi na ganun, you can actually say no. You can actually just, well, sorry, because I don't want to waste my time learning and I am already good at Canva. I'd rather use this. So maghanap ako ng client na kailangan nila ang service ko. Sheena, let me ask you, in the spirit of learning again, kasi nasa learning tayo, if you happen to require one of your VAs to learn about a specific tool, how much time would you give them?
Kasi sa na-encounter ko kasi palaging gusto nila
Alam na
may
nila.
walkthrough. No, palaging gusto nila may walkthrough. You know, but in advance, kasi nagpapa-internship ako, diba? So, gusto nila parang what I do is nagpo-post ako ng YouTube tutorial or katulad last night, I just had to give everyone in advance, i-research kung paano ko natututunan yung mga mabilis ko napipick up yung mga platform. Pero, in advance, binibigay ko yung link ng YouTube na syempre papanoorin ko muna, di ba? Kung ano siya, kung okay siya. Pero, para sa akin, dapat ang tinuturo ko is dapat matutunan nyo kasi that's what I expect sa mga VA ko. Pero syempre naiintindihan ko kung hindi nila alam kasi 'di ba nagbago pa lang naman. But it would be really nice kung alam nila in advance, pero kung hindi then i-direct ko sila or tuturuan ko sila.
Oh, I like that. You're such a nice client. You're a very nice client if that is the case. Yung iba kasi parang, hindi mo alam yan. Okay, move on. Parang ganun. That is what a lot of the newbie freelancers are very nervous about. Marami kasi sa inyo kung meron kayong inapplyan na job opening, as much as possible makuha nyo. Ayaw nyong bumagsak. Ayaw nyong parang mag-move on sa next. So this fear of failure can actually be your downfall, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know anything, if you don't know things, you have to be open to your client because your client may have the time to teach you or may refer you to a specific website where you can learn. Ayaw nyo nun, may learnings pa kayo. Right? Whether you get hired or not, at least meron kayong natutunan. Sieska says here, saan pa ba dapat mag-start in learning an app? Doon sa mahirap o doon sa mas easier na app? I want Elijah to answer this actually. If Elijah, now that you are in your journey to freelancing, kasi naman self-paced naman yung mga binigay namin na na courses nyo. So which one did you choose? Is it do you want to study something that you're not familiar with, or would you rather start with something easier for you?
Actually, that's quite interesting because it actually depends on something I'm learning about, then kung may recommendations yon, and I'll try all the apps about that. And in those apps, I explore it, like everything, the settings, options, lahat ng nasa app. And I don't know, I can't say there's easy apps because I tend to complicate things, which is, yeah, I kind of fall into complications because I explore everything deeper. So I can't say there's anything easy.
I love that you mentioned that. I love that you mentioned that, Elijah, because you are not alone. Marami rin sa ating, oh, si Sheena na wala. Marami na, wala na kasi talagang disiplinado sila sa time eh. Sorry. If you, just come back, Sheena, if you want to come back, please. Sandali. I need to step out. Okay, sige lang. It's okay. It's okay. Carby pakisabi, it's quite okay. Balik na lang siya kung sakali, and I hope that she comes back on any of our flip chat and chill sessions. But I will give her more time. Si Elijah kasi nabanggit niya, ladies and gentlemen, na kino-complicate niya ang learnings niya. Which is very natural. It's very typical. I think pati si Joey pag minsan yung ganon yung as an as an engineer, pag minsan yung parang pinapahirapan palalo ang sarili. You tend to instead na sabihin sa na sabi sa ni Canva, you drag this one to there and voila, makukuha mo yung ma-achieve mo yung gusto mong effect. Pero ikaw, meron kang nakita na sandali, pwede yung layers na yun. Ano yung layers na yun? Which actually complicates your learning because wala ka pa naman doon, hindi mo pa naman kailangan, gusto mo nang pag-aralan. This is typical, ladies and gentlemen, and even I am guilty of doing that. Strongly recommend, ladies and gentlemen. Si Yeska, sabi mo, saan ba dapat mag-start ng learning ng app? Sa akin, I do not care whether it is difficult or it is easy. What is comfortable for you? Kasi, pag minsan in the mood tayo na gusto, yung parang ganado tayong yung utak natin gumagana, yung parang yes. It's such a waste kung ganon ang spirit mo, tapos ang pinag-aaralan mo, yung alam mo na. Right? Yung kayang-kaya mo na. It's such a waste. Sayang yun. Why not spend it on learning something that might challenge you? Kasi ang learning, pag minsan, kahit gaano kadali, kung ayaw pumasok dahil hindi tayo in the mood, ayaw talagang pumasok. So para sa akin, in my opinion, if you want to learn something, figure out whether you are comfortable learning something that is difficult, more challenging, or you would want to rather step to an easier pace. Nasa oras na tayo, ladies and gentlemen. So sayang si Sheena Wala pa namang oras, but it's okay. Nasa oras na tayo, so let me go to Enzo. Enzo, your next task is to remind our audiences here about the things that we are actually talking about right now. Mga tools, mga courses. How about you do that?
All right, so I'm just gonna share my screen. Share screen. All right, so we have some announcements. Wait, sorry. Is it showing now? Okay, so for our announcements, we have the Jazz Success. The title is What Made a Law Student Give Up a Stable Job and Work as a Freelancer. So this would be an interview with Miss Kimberly Ann Lanuza. So if you want to learn more about her story, so you can just mark your calendars at January 19, 2022, and this would be at is this your birthday? Okay, mark your calendars. So this will be at January 19, 2022 at 6 p.m. So next is for next week's Flip Chat and Share session. So we have the title, What Online Freelancers Need to Know About Taxes. So if you want to learn more about the taxes, so mark your calendars as well for January 24, 2022. Same time, same place, and with our very energetic host, Mr. Phoenix. Next, so VA Bootcamp courses is now lifetime. It already has lifetime access. So if ever you are in the middle of a task and you somehow forgot some important details, so you can just go back to your virtual assistant bootcamp courses. So you can just access it and refer to it anytime at your convenience. Next is, and we also offer individual courses. So if you want to specialize on a specific niche, but want to focus yourself on one specific niche, so we have individual courses. So we have better English for online success. We have something about blogging, bookkeeping, email marketing, freelance writing. We have SEO, social media for business, management and marketing. We have websites 101, so this would cover WordPress and HTML. And lastly, we have e-commerce virtual assistant. Next, we have the Bootcamp free courses. So if you want to get the basics of some specific courses, so we also offer that. For we have virtual assistants, we have SEO for beginners, social media management, e-commerce virtual assistants, intro to next level freelancing, intro to lead generation, email marketing, better English, bookkeeping, web design, and writing. So if you want to learn more info about this, you can visit vabootcamp.ph/free courses. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening.
There you go. Well, very good job, Enzo. Okay, that's nice. Ang ganun pala ang attitude ni Enzo. It's very mellow. It's very parang ASMR. Wow,
Oh, really?
ang galing.
I didn't realize that.
Parang ASMR, ang ganda. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good job, Enzo. That's good. Really, really good. Ayan, ladies and gentlemen, pasensya na nawala si Sheena. I think she has to do something, pero she messaged us na she has to exit. And oy, Tara, you're ruining my backdrop.
Oh, look at that! Is that a husky? A German Shepherd?
Alaskan Malamute.
Oh,
yung
yeah,
malaki.
the bigger one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Tara, Ayan, pasensya na, ladies. Gustong umextra ng
Sama mo lang
ng
siya
dog.
sa video.
Wala, sinira na talaga. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, pagdating sa sa tools and apps online that freelancers can't live without, most of the times individual ito. Pero syempre sinabi namin na go to Google, tignan nyo kung ano yung mga apps na ino-offer dyan. But the problem is times change. Kaya sabi namin, mag-aral kayo and you have to change your mindset to learning almost every day. Eto, alam ko parang it's kind of disappointing, kapag pag yung nag-aral ka na nga, tapos syempre ang gusto mo magtrabaho na. Tama na, itigil na ang pag-aaral kung pwede. But it doesn't work that way. You see, in our career, for me, ladies and gentlemen, I strongly recommend that you start easy. You start in a relaxed pace. Parang para magamay-gamay mo na lang ng konti. Tapos pag natikman mo na ang pera na galing sa freelancing, malamang gusto mong maging agresibo. Gusto mong yumaman, mabilis. Yun ang mangyayari sa'yo. So you will want to learn and learn and learn more. Tapos sige, mag-progress ka na mag-progress. Which is also good. That is also good. And then after that, yung gusto mo, napapagod ka na sa dami ng trabaho mo na ginawa mo sa freelancing. Probably after a couple of months, parang, eto na yung sinasabi nilang burnout. Nababurnout na ako. So again, you need to start learning on maybe managing your time, or maybe reducing your work time. How do you do that? Yung mga ganun. And this is where the business part kicks in. Yun na, sasabi mo na, paano kaya kapag mag-outsource ako? So you have to learn that. In every step that you take, ladies and gentlemen, merong learning process. Whether it is formal or informal, intentional or non-intentional. You will be learning, you will be progressing in your freelancing career. Wala pong ending yan. Pati yung etong mga sila Joey, kita nyo, sige pa rin, dagdag pa rin ng dagdag ng mga kung ano-anong ginagawa nila. Because the beauty of freelance, ladies and gentlemen, is change. Yeah, hindi ka magsasawa, hindi ka mabobore. Right? Kung galing ka sa factory na katulad ko, wala ka namang ibang ginawa kundi araw-araw na lang na kung ano yung trabaho mo, yun ang gagawin mo. Pipindutin mo ito, lakad doon, pindot diyan, lakad dito, buhat diyan. That is what you're going to do every day for the rest of your life. And di ba, kapag nandun ka sa sitwasyon mo na yon, sasabihin mo na, eto na lang ba talaga ang buhay ko magpakailanman? So if you came from that, imagine pagpasok mo sa freelancing. It is a learning process every day. Now think, handa ka ba sa ganon? Because some of you might ask, is freelancing for me? Well, my question to you is, are you ready to do the things that freelancers ought to do? That is my question to you, ladies and gentlemen. For now, punta muna tayo kay Joey. Joey, biggest advice, final words, advertisements, and shout-outs. Go.
Shout out dun sa mga nagpa-shout out. Ito kasi kanina si Lenny shout out daw, and then of course yung mga bumate sino ba yun? Si Sheska yata yun, tsaka of course si Ma'am Carmen, bagong gupit daw ako. Ayan. Yes, actually kakagaling ko lang ng barbero, so when I got home okay. Rest lang ng konti, tapos boot up na ng computer and all that. So, yun. Basically, ako lang, so just last words is, you don't have to spend. Kung wala kang client, don't spend. Maraming free. Kung wala kang hardware, that's where you have to invest. Pero, you don't have to get the best of the very best if you're saving money. Just get what you need. Syempre, pagka may pera ka na, may income ka na, may client ka na, ibang usapan yun. But, sa simula, work with what you have. The best tool is the one that you have in your hands.
Correct.
So that's it. Work with what you have and use free stuff.
Use free stuff. Speaking of free stuff, meron ka bang advertisement, Joey?
So far, wala pa no? Medyo please visit my makeuseof.com kung meron kayong mga tech questions. I'm a contributor and an editor and that website. So may mga tech stuff there that you want to know, makeuseof.com. So yun ang plug ko for tonight.
Makeuseof.com, ladies and gentlemen, mag-submit kayo ng mga napaka-complicated na tanong para sumakit ang ulo ni Joey. Stump Joey. That is the challenge. Yan pa ang challenge natin. Stump Joey. Kung sino makaka-stump sa kanya, kailangan aminin niya na na-stump siya. Para yeah, that is the challenge. And I think it's going to be fun for you, ladies and gentlemen, and for Joey himself. Maraming salamat for continuously contributing to the community, Joey. And I'm so glad that you are here. Kasi kung wala ka parang hindi ko na alam. Kawawa ako kung wala ka ngayon. Ayan, sinabi ni Carrie, makeuseof.com, ladies and gentlemen. And
ayan, nakita ko.
Yan, very good. Thank you for that. Also, Carmi, paki-post na yung ni Sheena. Sad to say na si Sheena, she has to exit, pero meron siyang reminders sa atin. But before we talk about that, sandali. Tama po ba? Okay, but before we talk about that, eto na siya. Sabi ni Sheena, please follow her page here, facebook.com/PinayVAOfficial. And ladies and gentlemen, nakita niyo yung mga expectations niya, she as a person, and she has her trainings, nagpapa-intern din siya. If you resonate with her, eto ang bilin ko sa inyo ha, huwag kayong bastang sumugod sa kanya. Okay, you have to assess kung siya ba yung tipo na tao that you want to work in tandem with. Gusto niyo bang siya ba yung tipo na tao na masarap kausap? Nakita niyo na kung sino siya. So it is up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to judge, because kung basta susugod lang kayo na iba ang mindset ninyo na hindi nyo pa tinignan kung bagay kayo sa isa, you are just wasting both of your time, her time and your time, right? So yan, whenever you apply for an internship, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't secure you a job, ha? Internship does not secure you a job. Alalahanin nyo yan. Basta importante yung learning experience ninyo ang makukuha ninyo dyan. So, with that every day or sabihin nyo ng 3 times a week kayong nagmi-meet, will you be happy doing what your trainee wants you to do? So kung ako kayo, please consider that before you go to Miss Sheena kasi mahirap naman if you will be wasting her time and you will be wasting your time as well. Pero yan facebook.com/PinayVA official. Thank you very much, Miss Sheena. I hope that you get to join us again some other time. Kaya mga team replay, sana naman magbasa pa rin kayo, team replay. Kasi it will be here, the what do you call this, the videos will still be here. Pero I also strongly encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to go straight to our website and take a look at what we get to offer there dahil marami kami mga articles and some of them are based on our sessions here as well. Elijah, let me go to you. Have you learned anything from tonight?
A lot, actually, a lot. Like, different tools, new tools, mga hindi ko pa narinig before.
Yeah.
And yeah, really useful. And yeah, a lot of knowledge and good words to live by. And yeah, true na true yung sinabi ni Sir Phoenix kanina na freelancing is never-ending process on learning talaga. There's more hours of learning than working. It's what I'm seeing right now. Like, more learning than working, but the results will be golden.
That's good. I'm glad that you said that. Meron ka bang pa-shoutout? Meron ka bang shoutout?
Wala na, sir. Pero I have something to point out.
Yeah? Go ahead.
Sir Phoenix, do you voice PBB?
PBB? What's PBB?
You sound like Kuya from PBB.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Ano yun?
Big Brother.
Maybe he doesn't watch Big Brother.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Oh, Big Brother. I know I don't have TV. I have no intentions of having a TV. So, no. Unfortunately, no. I'm sorry. No, hindi. No. My voice is used on different media. I am more into audio drama. Yeah. Baka narinig niyo ang boses ko sa narrations, like narrating a book. Yeah, I've been doing that before, but mostly ang focus ko ngayon. But some might say that I am podcasting, which is true. Pero ang major gig ko ngayon using my voice is audio drama, which is very difficult and very challenging, but very exciting. So yeah, that's where I am. Wala ako sa TV. I have no interest in television, sadly.
Sa bahay ni Kuya. Bahay ni Kuya.
Anything else, Elijah?
Nothing else, sir.
Okay. There you go. Yan, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking to Elijah, but whatever I'm telling Elijah, I'm also addressing it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Kasi marami po sa inyo ito mga starting up pa lang. Elijah, one thing that you need to prioritize is to learn how to manage your time. Because when it comes to learning, marami tayong oras. Pwede nating i-devote ang 24 hours natin when it comes to learning. But application will be different. And pag nasanay ka sa 24 hours kang learning, hindi ka willing na ibigay yung parang sabi mo ng 4 hours for application. So always manage your time. Yun ang pag-aralan mo because that is going to be something that will stick with you and something that you will definitely learn for the rest of your freelancing life. And the demand for time management will increase progressively. Sa ngayon, parang okay lang, relax lang, pero time will come when you need it. And ang mahirap kapag yung pag-aaral mo kung kailan kailangan mo, masasayang na naman ang oras mo. Right? And time is precious. That is something that you also need to learn. Your time is expensive. Ladies and gentlemen, ilang beses kong sinasabi na my time is expensive, Joey's time is expensive. Sinasabi ko yan. Pero you have to embody that. I want you to embody that your time is expensive. Nag-overtime tayo dito. Ngayon, mag-overtime tayo ng 15 minutes. Your time is expensive. You have to make sure na ano man ang required sa'yo, ano man ang gagawin mo, is it worth your breath? Is it worth your life that passed by? Because that is something that you cannot take back. So as much as possible, ladies and gentlemen, you have to build that up within you. Paano ka hihingi ng rates mo? You have to know that your time is expensive. Paano mo i-increase ang rates mo? Paano ka mag-charge sa clients mo? You have to know that your time is expensive. Pag mag-aaral ka, safe-paced na. Okay, you can learn VA bootcamp courses for the span of 20 years. But your time is expensive. May oras ka pa ba to waste? And if you happen to be starving already, kung wala ka ng kapera-pera, wala ka ng maipakain sa pamilya mo, it is even more demanding for you because every minute that you waste is supposed to be a minute that you are earning. Okay? So, tignan nyo yan. You have to invest. How do you earn? You have to invest. Right? So, I hope that you get that. You embody that mantra na your time is expensive. All right, let me go to Enzo naman. Enzo tuloy. Enzo. Hi, Enzo. How's your experience as our intern for tonight? Kumusta?
I'm not gonna lie, it was nerve-wracking. I'm not usually the one for the cameras, but I'm just doing my best. I mean, it was a very great experience. Yes, and I learned so much, and it was a really great insight, especially when you said about list down things that you're unfamiliar with, because I've been to numerous interviews, and that's one of the things that I fail to ask interviewers on things that I'm unfamiliar with. So if that's the case, if that's the thing that they're looking for, at least I get to be prepared if ever I get to be interviewed once again. So thank you so much for that learning. It really helped.
Well, in fact, I even encourage you to go a level higher and ask what I asked Sheena. Say, okay, so if you want me to learn this, how many days would you expect me to be able to learn it? You can do that. Right? So it triggers their mind. At least it shows that you are interested in learning it and giving it a bracket. Para ma-achieve mo naman yun. The more you ask questions, practical questions, the more success rating you get. Actually, pagdating sa application, pagdating sa mga interviews, kung mababaliktad mo yung scenario at ikaw ito magtatanong, something that just make sure that your questions are substantial, have substance. So the more that they will be impressed, the more that you will have better chances of, if not getting hired, then you will stand out. That's another thing. Yung parang, even if they are not going to hire you, then at least parang naka-reserve ka sa utak nila na, sadali, I cannot forget this person. Now with that, the technique there is, alangan naman na maaalala ka nila na hindi nila maalala ang pangalan mo. So you also have to make sure that they remember your name. Eh?
Yeah.
Marami mga techniques dyan. Marami ka mga pwedeng gawin dyan. It really depends on your personality. Kaya nga meron tayong mga ganito. If you want to be like Joey is so quiet, but once you ask him a question, dire-diretso yan kasi nag-iisip yan. Unlike me, ako naman itong salita in hopes na meron akong maiisip na pag meron akong masabi, baka dun ko naman makukuha yung idea. That's a totally different approach. So it's up to you really kung ano ang personality mo. We're just giving you some guidelines on how to deal with clients. Basta practice ka lang ng practice. Don't worry, kapag meron kang client dyan, wag mong isaloob na, ay, ito na sana ito na talaga. Wala na akong ibang pupuntahan kundi ito. Wag mo isaloob na ganon. Just treat it as a learning experience for you. Of course, you have to give everything that you got dahil alangan naman na if you're not going to give 100% of your effort and your brain cells, parang it's useless. You won't be learning anything. So give everything that you got, but do not expect it as the end all and be all. Be prepared for any questions or any rejections that they are going to throw it at you, that freelancing is going to throw at you, because it will be part of your growth. Congratulations, Enzo. You did a very, very good job, and I hope that I'm going to interview you next time sa Just Success naman. Right? You have the charisma, so don't be afraid to be on camera. Just smile ka lang ng smile. Huwag kang mag-alala. Everything is forgiven when you smile, right? Yan, ladies and gentlemen. Lahat po tayo, when you smile, look at Joey's smile, look at Elijah's smile. So is a smile ni Elijah. It's beautiful, and that is something that a lot of clients will also appreciate when you do that. Magmumukha tayong cute kasi kapag nakangiti tayo eh. So don't be afraid to do that, okay, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Oh, Joey and Elijah, meron pa kayong padagdag? So ngayon?
None.
For me, pag nagdagdag ako, magiging 2 hours tayo eh, so never mind.
Yeah, yun nga, nag-overtime tayo. But again, I'm so sorry for doing this overtime, pero you know me, alam nyo naman, ganyan talaga ang ginagawa ko. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed our episode for today. Our topic is tools and apps online freelancers can't live without. And yes, perhaps bitin tayo dahil maraming mga hindi nabanggit. But again, what is important for me, for you to know, is the learning process. Kasi despite many apps out there, kahit na anong i-mention pa namin, if you are not willing to learn, yung true yung totoo hindi lang yung sinasabi na I am willing to learn, hindi lang yun basta sinusulat ng ganon. You really have to put it in yourself that you are willing to learn things. Otherwise, useless ang mga suggestions din namin. Again, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.